Hey guys, Omar here, broker and CEO of Alden Mortgage and OMA Realty. So real estate is taking a shit, mortgaging is taking a shit. Am I gonna sit here and cry myself to sleep? Absolutely not. My whole entire vision of my real estate business career as a whole was always to be an all-encompassing, one-stop shop type of thing. So what's the very next step? We do escrow, we do lending, I do real estate transactions, buying and selling. We have two more left, two more pieces of the puzzle. Well, actually, three more pieces of the puzzle, which the third one is going to be one of the biggest feats. Hopefully, I don't go broke and lose my businesses before that. But the third one is going to get to be on the wholesale side of lending. That's the ultimate one. I won't tell you the big picture. You got to stay tuned for all of that. But appraisal, I need to go ahead and get into the appraisal. So I have been looking around and looking. There's three things that I found out about becoming an appraisal. Now for me, I don't understand why every single appraiser in the world does not have a real estate agent, a mortgage broker friend, and they all work as a team together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. I don't need anybody else to do it. I am going to go ahead and look to partner up with an appraisal, because for the whole thing, for the bigger picture of all of this, I honestly don't want to be an appraiser. I don't want to go out to properties. I don't want to go, I mean, I will, and I think that'll actually make really good content, like to see, like to people, let people know how much home values are worth, and like make it like a guessing game, like how much do you think this house is worth, blah, 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 blah. And maybe we could even get it big enough to like do exclusively only like celebrity homes. I find that a little far-fetched, but you never know. Could happen. So the three things that I found out when it came to appraisals is, number one, I went on this appraisal forum as like on Facebook, right? Like this group or whatever it is. And I just asked a quick question because I went through the whole entire criteria of how you become a certified residential real estate appraisal, a general appraiser, appraiser trainee. There's like 4 categories. I don't know. I'm like as stupid as it goes when it comes to this. Okay, I did almost no work, but I know I have to do something. I know that this is my next step. I know that this is I'm getting older and I can't keep putting things off, because let's just face it, the mind isn't like, you know, firing on all cylinders like it was before, but it actually might actually be, because I was drunk most of my 20s. I was a degenerate. I was a slut. I was the biggest whore you've ever met. I was pretty bad. It was terrible. But appraisals are assholes. Appraisers are such assholes. I posted a comment. I'm like, hey, I had a quick question. You know, I was like, you know, how do you find somebody to train you as an appraiser? And then like, let's face it, appraisers, like they, like half of them, like some of them are cool, some of them DM me like just let me know that appraisers are assholes. Don't get like bent out of shape with appraisers. But a lot of them are old and angry and bitter. Well, I am not that old. I am 40 years old. The majority of these old fucks are like 60, 70 years old, 50 to 70 years old. I still got a lot of time. I still could run. I could still do a lot of things. I wake up at 4 in the morning. You know, I still go to sleep at like midnight. I'm still pretty good. Like, do you think that I'm just going to outwork you? I'm just going to do this? So I found out appraisers have this little chip on their shoulder. They think that they're like, I don't know, God's gift to this green earth of real estate that we have. They're like, do you know how hard it is? Do you know how it is? Watch this shit's going to be the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm making fun of it right now. It's going to be the hardest thing I've ever done. But they're like douchebags, right? Which I don't understand why. Why would you not want to work with a mortgage broker? Because if you work with a mortgage broker, and I don't want to be an appraiser, okay? I do not want to be an appraiser. I want to go ahead and do these couple of steps in order to get something that's called an AMC. So I could apply to become an AMC, which is an appraisal management company. You know, steps. You got to go ahead and do that, and have other people do the appraisers for you. Now, there's certain criteria that you have to follow under, but That's my biggest thing is I want to become an AC. Well, long story short is all these appraisers like they they say some stupid shit like you're an idiot, you're this is what you think. Like they were giving you like that typical like old person answer. That's fuck all of them. Number two, I realized that it's gonna take a while. It is gonna take a big minute. So the hurdles are number one. The classes that I'm going to take, okay? The classes that I'm going to take, let me see which classes that I'm going to take. I think there was this appraisal company. I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy. Twitter and Elon are going nuts right now. Appraisal. What did I do? Classes? So here, I'll go ahead and screen share this because I think that's probably important. All right, we're going to record this. So the one that I am actually going to do is going to be this McKissick, whatever this is. So this is, it's a little bit expensive. I am going to end up doing this one, which is $1,700. There's other ones too, like there's this thing called the Appraiser Institute. This is another really big one that they have. To be honest with you, I don't know the difference behind all of them. The only reason why I'm picking the other one is because it's cheaper and it looked kind of cooler, I guess. It looked like it would be more easier and more intuitive, and it gave me exactly what I wanted. But let's go ahead and close this guy out so you don't have to see that, because they have these little pop-ups that keep coming up. But that's the one that I'm going to go ahead and use to do my initial training, like the classwork that you have to do. Number three, I found out the most difficult thing to do, and this was one of the other questions I asked in these appraiser groups, is how do I get trained to become an appraiser? And that's when I found out that this is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought. Because to find an appraiser, because what happens is after you're done with your coursework, you need an X amount of time, right? You need about, I think it's 2,000 hours. I'm not going to just leave you guys out. You guys could learn with me here. We're going to screen record this too here. So this is going to be from California. So to be a certified general license, you have to have a bachelor's degree, just so you know. Now, what that means is that you could go ahead and you could appraise anything and everything outside of the world. There's no limitations to this. Now, certified residential license, you could go ahead and get that. You could get a residential license. Now, there's the license, there's a trainee. Then once you pass that, then you have to take an exam. So first, you have to go ahead and pass the coursework that I just showed you from the McKissick or whatever it is, or whatever one you decide. Just Google one like I just did. After you do that, you need to go ahead and get a bunch of these hours. These are the hours for the class. Hold on, where the hell is the damn list? All right, I'm going to go out of here. What is this? All right, so here it is right here. You need to work 2,000 hours. 2,000 hours as a trainee to somebody. That is a son of a bitch. So the 2,000 hours is I'm not going to lie, that's a tough one. Thank God real estate is slow now and I have the time to do it. But I don't know if there's paid ones. To find a position as a residential appraisal trainee, it's very, very, very difficult. Now, there are counties that are have appraisal trainee programs. Not programs, like it's actual employment. There's companies that you might be able to get into. I haven't made that many calls in order to find an actual appraisal trainee. And since real estate is down, like how long is it going to take for me to go ahead and get this license? That 2,000 hours is big. This is not like getting a real estate license, right? You get a real estate license, you pass your exam, go sell real estate the next day. This is a long fucking process. It is really, really, really long. After you do that, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go ahead and pass your exam. You get your exam, you have to, I'm assuming you have to get a live scan. Live scan is just you go in there, you take some fingerprints, they make sure you're not a terrorist or you're not like some sort of wanted fugitive or, you know, whatever it is. It does like your background check on you. But other than that, it's pretty simple. So you have to find an appraisal trainee that is going to go ahead and certify you and write off your 2,000 hours. They have to train you. They're going to have to want to train you. Some of them will have to pay you. Now, whenever you're a panel appraisal, like you work for a fee, that means that you go, like you sign up with a bunch of different AMCs. And then from those AMCs, which is an appraisal management company, that's the people who deal with all the appraisal orders, right? So let's say, for instance, a bank will go ahead and send an AMC an appraisal request. That AMC will go ahead and throw that bid out to appraisers. Who's willing to take it? Let's say you want to take it for $200 or $300 or $400, whatever it is. And it'll depend on who's going to go ahead and pick that up. Now there's a bunch of different AMCs. The AMC gets a cut. Once the appraisal is done, the appraiser gets its cut, and that's all she wrote. They have to pay you on some of those. Now, I'm going to make a bunch of phone calls, and I'm going to go ahead and try to do this myself. I'm going to try to do this whole step-by-step myself, and you're going to go ahead and follow along with me. This is going to be a pretty long process, and I haven't seen a single video on YouTube or anywhere out there that shows a step one fresh. You can't get any fresher than this. I am not a licensed appraiser. I do not have an appraisal license. I don't know. Other than doing BPOs, which is called a broker price opinion, I don't know what it's like to be an appraiser. Shit, it could be one of the hardest things in the world. But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'm a real estate broker. I'm a mortgage broker, which is hardest. It's fucking hard. It's one of the hardest jobs you could have, to deal with finance and guidelines and what we do, putting packages together and making stories make sense. How hard would it be to do evaluations? I swear to God, if this ends up being like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, it's gonna suck. It's probably without a doubt gonna be really, really, really hard, and I'm gonna bite I'm biting my tongue right now. It's gonna suck so bad, but I'm gonna keep this journey going. So if you want to see, the next video is gonna be me going and rolling into this class. I am gonna do it right after these holidays because I have a family. I got 2 kids and a wife. I have no choice but to go do some family duties. But let's see, it is let me show you where's my, let me see if I could pull up today's date if you could see this. Today's date. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to bring my laptop over to you. So today marks, can you see that? Today is November 18th, 2022. I don't know what the hell I did with my phone, or else I'd bring my phone along. But yeah, it's November 18th, 2022. This will be the only video that goes step by step with the appraisal process. It's not going to be fun, Tater. But in the grand scheme of things, let's see what it's going to be like in 5 years from now. I always think to myself, every single time that I do something, I don't look at it as right now. And if you do the same thing, maybe you don't have to do 5 years. In my mind, I like 5 years. Maybe you could do a year. If you say, I am going to quit something today, don't say you're going to quit something today. Say, I'll do it next year. Let's just see what one more year brings out. It's going to suck. Or maybe like 1 month is good for you. Like, you know what? I'm not going to quit this month. Let me see what's going to happen next month. Let's just keep it going for this month, and then we'll go ahead and go from there. But that's how I look at things. But if you want to stay tuned and you want to go ahead and see what's going to happen or how hard it is, or maybe you have an interest in becoming an appraiser and you want to know how much of a pain in the ass it could possibly be. I already know it's going to be the biggest pain in the ass. First of all, I'm very difficult to work with. I'm not an easy man to work with. My wife tells me that I have like a God complex. I don't know what the hell that means. It's just because I go into places and I just care about myself. She says that I think that I'm better than everybody else. I'm not better than anybody. I just know what I got. And your boy got it. If you wanted to stay up to date, like, subscribe, comment. Until next video, guys, I appreciate you watching. Peace.